Aloha and mahalo, everybody. I have returned. I'm here. I'm back, and I got a very good eerie story for you today. I got two of them because you know what today is. Double whammy Fridays. Yeah, buddy. Okay, and looky, I got my shirt on. Yeah. Woo woo. Love this shirt. Love it. Anyway, okay, but yeah, you know what I'm all about, people. I provide the weird and eerie stories of people that vanish in national parks, national forests, urban and rural areas all across the world, from Canada all the way up to New Zealand. And I got some New Zealand viewers out that way, so I got a special two special stories for you guys. Okay, actually there's three, but I'm gonna do two of them for double whammy Fridays. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, if you're a YouTuber and you have more, subscribers than me. Some of the ones that got like over 1 million subscribers. There is this big thing going on with YouTube where they're canceling all of the ads that come along with your videos. And these ads help pay for your channel and help you keep it going, about the devices you need for your channel, like webcams or whatever you need, and it helps pay for all the editing and everything. There's a big problem going on in YouTube right now where a lot of people are canceling their subscription, to their own page, because most of the people that are on YouTube, they live off of YouTube because they get paid for it. So some of them do this full time. Well, a lot of them do this full time, and this is their livelihood. They use the money to help pay for their channel and all the stuff they need, and to help raise raise their family and all that stuff. So it's really crazy right now. I watched the video earlier today about on security about the guy Tyler, who does the UFO and like abduction conspiracies and all that stuff, which is a very good channel, I might add. Like I said before, you guys need to watch it. It's pretty cool. He speaks the truth about a lot of things. He was even saying how he's got to now do the one thing he would never wanted to do in the first place, and that is ask the viewers for help, like $1 a month, anywhere between $1 to $50 a month, and you have these little rewards that come along with it. Like you could be the first one to get a video before it's posted for everyone else, or you can list what kind of topic you want him to talk about, or you'll actually get a chance to chat with him live, on I guess on the internet or whatever the case may be. But I'm not really having that problem because I don't get paid yet. I just really started this 2 years ago, so I'm not in it for the money. I'm really not. I'm in it for the education. I'm in it to educate people about what's going on. And I know David Paulides has already been doing that, and a lot of other channels have already been doing that as well. But I am one of those channels that want to do my part in educating all of you, all of my viewers, on what's really going on in these national parks. I want to let you. I want to feed you into the eerie part of what's going on. Everybody tries to come up with their own analogy, saying that maybe it was a Bigfoot, or maybe it had to been a serial killer in the park. I get into all that at a later date, but first and foremost, I want to talk about an experience I had in my home. And one of my homeboys who, comes here to, spend the night every once in a while, he had an experience too, but I'll start with mine first. This happened probably the same year I bought my home, somewhere in the middle. I believe it was in the summertime, I believe. I was in the shower getting ready for work, and I'm in the middle, washing myself down or whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden, I had my doors. I have these French doors, to my bathroom, and I heard a very loud rap, 3 raps, or knuckle raps on the door. And I'm like, whoa! And it made me jump, and I've got this hot water, spraying on my body. And I'm like, what the, and I'm like, okay, I'm the only one in the house at that point. So I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It's just weird, you know. And just even though I already knew what it was all about, and I knew it was a disembodied noise because I knew I was the only one in the house, but you know, you still have that moment where you get startled or you jump, you know, because it just comes out of nowhere, you know. And depending on what it could be, the one noise that you don't expect to hear is what startles you the most. Okay, you may hear something like a whisper, or you may hear a tiny little knocking noise or something falling on the floor. That doesn't really startle me, but to hear someone knocking on the door, knowing I'm the only one in the house, out of the blue, I know for a fact that you know that right there would scare. I won't say scare the crap out of me, but it would definitely startle me. You know, it's like one of those moments where you just want to shit in your pants. But of course, I didn't have my pants on by that time. Anyway, okay. Enough of that. But yeah, that was my experience, you know, with the whole shower thing. All right, now today, like I said before, I got two stories for double Women Fridays, and this one is for my New Zealand viewers. I love you guys, so keep watching. And this one's for you. Okay, now this one is about two women that disappeared from the same track near Piha in New Zealand. It left police baffled, and the family's asking what happened because they both just up and vanished without a trace. You know, it just boggles the mind how a person can just walk into a place and then they just disappear, and there's no explanation as to what happened, why they disappeared. There's no evidence to say that they went here or they went there or they just wanted to just disappear. You know, that is still a hard thing to do. If you want to just disappear, there is no law in that. Okay, you can do that. Okay, there's no law that says that you can't just disappear on your own. But when you just disappear for no apparent reason, when you're walking, they know you're walking into a place when you jog or whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden, somewhere between point A, not even knowing that there's a point B, you just disappear. And that is just the craziest part about all these cases. It just wraps your brain. You be trying to figure out how could that happen? Why did that happen? Did they try to disappear? Did they walk off Did they just walk off a cliff and die because they didn't want to live? I don't know. Now the part at the end is kind of crazy because they talked about what a witness saw her with in her hand, which kind of makes it a little. Well, anyway, I'll get to that part, you know, when I get to it. But yeah, so now the disappearance of 21-year-old nurse Kim Bambus. Okay, she vanished 6 years to the day 3 weeks ago, as a matter of fact. 6 years ago today. 6 years of the day. Okay, let me get my words right here. 6 years of the day, 3 weeks ago, which is actually on March 24th of this year. Okay. Okay, now at the same time, on that same date, about 6 years ago, a woman named Cherie Vousden disappeared on the same track. But to get back on track with Kim, now Kim went missing when she went for a run at Piha in West Auckland. That's Auckland. Her disappearance is eerily similar to Cherie's, you know, who disappeared in, like I said, in 2012. She was last seen wearing a dark-colored jacket, pink exercise top, black shorts, and black and white exercise sneakers, you know, the little Nike trainers. Now, her hair was tied in a ponytail, and she was carrying a large body of water. Now, when she didn't come home that Friday night, her flatmates drove out to the beach to look for her before they called 911. So now they called 911 around 8 p.m. that night on a Saturday. On that Friday, I mean. Now, her car was found um, at around 1 a.m. that Saturday, and they saw that the only thing that was in her car at the time was her cell phone. That, like I said, it was still inside. So she had everything else with it except for the cell phone. I guess probably because she wasn't getting any reception in that area. Probably didn't have any cell towers, and most of the time, if you go to a mountainy area, there's no cell towers there. So that's why you have to use a sat phone in order for you to be able to call someone if you get lost or whatever the case may be. And that's something that she didn't do. Okay, now the disappearance. Oh, now see, Darren Roberts, the brother of Cherie. What was her last name? Vousden. The brother of Cherie Vousden. He made a statement about her saying that it's very unreal that they don't know and still don't know what happened to her to this day. And it's just very heartbreaking. And the fact that another woman disappeared in the same exact area and on the same track. He feels for the family, and the friends, of that woman, of Kim. So, in retrospect, when people like that just vanish without a trace, and you don't have no idea how it even happened, and you come up with all these theories of what could have happened, mountain lion, Bigfoot, all this stuff makes no sense because there's no trace of her at all, and that right there, like I said, all that stuff just boggles my mind, and it freaks me out because I can sit here all day and come up with any theory that I can come up with, portals, wormholes, time travel, some sort of time tunnel opened up and you just walk right into it, but you didn't see it, all kinds of things. I've heard of a lot of stories like that story I told you about probably like last month or a couple months ago about this cowboy who was walking across a field and was viewed and witnessed by his wife and two kids, his brother-in-law, and the mayor of that town. He's walking into a field and they watch him as he just vanished without a trace in thin air, and he was never found, but when his children was looking for him, not looking for him, when his children was in the field where he disappeared at playing, they could actually hear his voice yelling out, yelling out for help, but they couldn't see him. They could hear him, but they couldn't see him. And over time, his voice just dissipated, and then he was never heard from again. So, situations like that, when people just disappear, is the weirdest part of everything that happens with these people. Because I'm like, ugh, are you serious? I mean, what could have happened to these people? But the proof is like right there. If a person just vanishes without a trace, you still you can't come up with a theory that is fact-based or logically based, because if you say, oh, maybe she was abducted by someone or she was kidnapped by somebody, okay, still, no matter what happens, when a person is being kidnapped by a person, there's always evidence left behind. They always leave evidence. There's no reason for them not to, okay, because it could be anything. It could be hair fragments, it could be particles from clothing that got caught in a twig. It could be some DNA. Maybe they were walking in a brush and got scratched, and then it may have some skin that's probably on it. It could be anything. But the fact that there was nothing ever to be found of this woman just boggles the mind. And it freaks me out too, because I can't figure it out, and she's not no kin to me, but I feel for her and I feel for the family, especially the Vousden family is just weird. Okay, well, that's actually her married name. So let me see. I think it is, because they said that she was a mother. They didn't say that she was actually married. Yeah, her last name was actually Roberts, because that's her brother. So that's her married name. Her maiden name was Roberts. Okay, now on to the story about Vousden, Cherie Vousden. Now she went for a run herself in an area called Mercer Bay Loop track, which is the same area where Kim was when she was doing her run out that way. And like I said, it's called the Mercer Bay Loop track. Now Cherie was 42 years old, She was a mom, and she frequently she frequented the track a lot. You know, when it came to her, you know, doing a run or a walk or just clearing her head, because you know she loved the sunsets out there in that area. You know, so she would go out there to watch the sunset every chance that she got. And believe you me, I love sunsets too, but I love those Hawaiian sunsets. You know, when it set, when the sun sets right into the ocean, it's almost like you can see the steam billowing up from the ocean as it's falling into it. That's just how cool it is. But it's just, but you know, it's actually outside of the atmosphere. But it just looks so cool when it looks like it's just falling into the sea. It just is so weird, but cool at the same time. But anyway, now she would often pick daisies, right? Just out of fun, and bring them back home. That was just one of her little hobbies that she liked to do. Now she left behind a 13-year-old daughter, and she also was, as far as the evidence of her disappearing, she was last seen by a tourist, you know, walking the track, you know, with sandals, a bottle, with sandals and a bottle of wine in her hand. Now, they found her car in the same car park as Kim's. Now, as far as the whole wine thing, maybe she had some cheese and she was gonna have a tiny little picnic in an area where there was picnic tables. Or maybe she was troubled about something and she just wanted to drink her troubles away. I don't know. But who carries a bottle of wine on a track or a trail? They probably call them tracks in New Zealand, but here we call them trails. So, I mean, who carries that kind of stuff? You know, maybe she was buying it for later when she got back home and she could just sit down watching TV, you know, huddled up in, you know, under her blanket and watching TV or whatever, drinking some wine. Cause I know a lot of my female friends that do that. You know, they like to drink wine when they at home and they chilling or whatever the case may be. But okay, now this here is a picture of Cherie. Hold on, it's kind of blurry, you know, because I guess this was the only photo they had of her. So this is her right here. This is Cherie Vousden. Okay, that's her. Now I'm going to show you a picture of Kim. Now this picture right here, this, oh, whoops, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. This is another blurry one. This is from a CCTV camera at a grocery store that she was at. She was buying some groceries before she disappeared. Now it says here that Kim Bambus was seen on a CCTV camera buying groceries from a Panzambi countdown store before going missing, you know, at Piha, you know. So that's crazy, you know. I mean, that was the last photo of her, and like I said, this just happened 3 weeks ago, March 24th of this year. So this just happened. This is a very fresh story, you know. So if it's, I haven't seen it on the news yet, I guess because it's in New Zealand territory, so it probably hasn't made it to this part of the world yet. But I'll be looking into it to see what happens. If there's a news bite, it may just be a news bite in New Zealand, and they probably posted it on the internet for everyone to see. But I doubt if they're gonna actually talk about it. You know, I remember they talked about Bo Solomon. You know, from, you know, it was all aired from Italy, and it was aired here, but it was coming from Italy. So, you know, if it's coming from New Zealand, I probably haven't seen too many newsreels from New Zealand on the news here in Georgia, you know. But who's to say it won't happen? I mean, if we can get news feed from Italy, I know we can get news feed from New Zealand, but I don't know how the law is over there. Maybe they keep their own news in their country. I'm not sure, but you know, like I said, I'll keep you guys posted on what's happening with that, and if I could get some more information on that. I mean, if they both just vanished without a trace, and the other woman, Cherie Vousden, has been missing since missing for a total amount of 6 years. Obviously, she just vanished, and there's no way for them to even find out what happened. You know, so if she obviously walked into oblivion, according to us, but she obviously walked into some sort of wormhole that led to another dimension or another parallel Earth where she had to just completely redo her entire life. And knowing that she couldn't get back, they probably only had, she probably, we have to get in contact with some scientists on that world where they could probably send her back. But there is an infinite number of slots, an infinite number of portals that lead to other worlds. There's at least probably like maybe 52 different, Earths, and there's Earth 1. And that's one of the theories about, parallel Earths. But there's really no way to control the journey back. Now, I'm pretty sure the government has that technology. I don't know. I've heard of them time traveling to the past or to the future, or they're going to like parallel Earths, and when they come back, it's not the actual Earth that they were actually born on. I don't know. A lot of these people were guests on the Coast to Coast AM show when Art Bell was actually hosting the show, and it has some pretty crazy stories that sound like they have merit, but still is unbelievable to the naked ear of other listeners, because they may say, oh, he's a quackpot, he's just calling to get some fame out of that. And then there's the whole John Titor story, it's crazy. I listened to all of it. The only one that sounded credible were the people that claim to be time travelers who actually were traveling to different, worlds, different parallel Earths, which isn't really time travel, but it's a form of time travel, but it's not like going back to the past or forward into the future. I don't know, but yeah, that's what they said. But yeah, as far as these two stories, man, that is just like really unsettling, because these women have families and kids. I don't know about Kim. They didn't say anything about her having kids, but the fact that she had a family is the part that really gets me the most, because people who just walk into these areas, where they hike and they run or they jog or walk or whatever the case may be, they never come back. Some do and some don't. It just depends on who that person is or when the time comes for them to be taken. I don't know how that works. I just know that not everybody gets taken. Some people can go in there and they come right back out, and they do it for years, and all of a sudden, bam. And I think, like I said before, I made this statement about my theory. It's almost like they already know who they want, but they want to fool the public and the family members to make them think that they are safe, because they go in and they come right back out for years, and they're like 80-something years old, and all of a sudden, poof, they go in at one time and they never come back. They just disappear. That's the part that really gets me, because that's what it seems like. They know who they want to take, but they just wait and they wait and they'll wait for about maybe 20 to 40 years. And then right at that moment when you think that they are experts in what they do, like hiking and all this stuff, because they always come back home, that's when they take them. As soon as they realize that they're like an expert at what they do, they've been doing it for years, they know the forest or the park inside and out, and then that one time out of all those times where they always come back home without a scratch on them, that's when they get taken. That's what it seems like to me, and that's still kind of just morbid, but it's just obviously that's what's happening, and that right there freaks me out, like I said, because you have no control over what's going on. And when some people call out God in a lot of areas like that, like this one guy was talking about, he yelled out, "In Jesus' name, I command you to go away." And this was a UFO experience. The UFO backed up and went in the opposite direction, or I think what was that guy? He was one of the hosts on Coast to Coast AM, where he I think it was the only ones I really know. I know the names, but I can't call them right now. Dave Schrader, I believe. It was Dave Schrader. And he said that when he was doing this thing in the forest, he was walking, I guess with a friend. I think he was a kid at the time. He was in the forest. All of a sudden, it was like he heard the sound of all these wolves in a pack just howling and barking all at the same time. It was like simultaneous. So it sounded like a woman screaming almost. But it was just like, and then all of a sudden he was hearing all the barking and howling and all that stuff. And and he said that I think he either said it in his mind or he said it out loud, said in Jesus' name, I command you to stop. Then all of a sudden, oh no, he said like, God, please don't let us be taken or killed by these animals or whatever the case may be. And the minute he got those words out of his mouth, everything just stopped. You know? So the power of God is very powerful. But in cases like these, you wonder, does he have jurisdiction in those areas? You know, because you have these creatures that lived on Earth way before us, these beings, I believe, and they are keepers of the forest, and they've been living here for millions and billions and millions of years, so they know the Earth inside and out. They protect the forest, they protect the idea of nature, and I think it may be nature spirits that's doing this because they don't like the way humans are treating nature and cutting down trees and marking trees. You know, just by you putting a mark on the tree so you can find your way back to the campsite is wrong because you're hurting the tree. You know, it's like you basically just slicing them in half, you know, or whatever the case may be. So it may be some nature spirits that are unhappy with humans alone, so they don't care who it is. If you're not doing anything to hurt nature, but you in the forest, they're gonna take you anyway because you're a human. That's like a person who is hunting an animal, but not one specific animal. He's hunting an animal of the same species. You know, so that's how it is with us almost. They hunt us just because we're human. You know, I don't know. So, but that's what I'm here for, folks. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the weird and the mysterious and the outright craziness of all these stories. Just like in the book, Missing 411, Sobering Coincidence. So, you know, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to wake you guys up, to open up your minds so you can figure out, so you can see what's really going on here. You can't close your mind to the mysterious and the eerie because that stuff is alive and well. It's a part of us. It's a part of this planet. Okay? The fact that the government doesn't put Earth history in the curriculum in schools is the most asinine thing they could ever do, because we should know everything there is to know about our own planet, not just the fact that it's a big old round blue ball with an atmosphere that keeps us from floating off into space, you know. And we shouldn't just learn about human history. Okay, I learned all I need to learn about George Washington, the fact that he chopped down a cherry tree, and he lied about the fact that he did it, and all this other stuff that go along with human history and our forefathers, the people who built America. Okay, once you learn about that, who cares? Okay, fine. You got a bunch of men that built America. Big whoop. Okay, but still, what about all this other crazy stuff where people just keep disappearing? How is it that that's not a major priority, you know, in our own history? Why is it that we can't learn, or you don't want us to learn about what's really going on with these people? Okay, that's my take on this. Why don't you want us to know about that? I mean, it's clear. It should be clear to you that we're not stupid. Okay, it should be clear to you that there are people out there that are just as intelligent as the people that work for the government. All those scientists and all those other people that work along with the government and all this stuff. We ain't no different from y'all. We got the same smarts, and we have the know-how to believe in all these things. We have the faith to believe in all this stuff. Now, the ones that don't are the religious ones, or the ones that just flat out don't believe in that stuff because, you know, they've never had an experience. I mean, I don't know how that works, but trust me, I have been in the unknown. I have had the experience of being a part of the unknown myself ever since I was a kid. Okay, and it all started with ghosts and the fact that I can see them. It all started when I actually had an out-of-body experience. It all started in those areas, and it just progressed over time. And then when you start hearing stuff about UFOs and aliens and all kinds of weird, eerie, unexplainable stuff that to some people don't make any sense, to me it makes perfect sense, because your eyes will not lie to you. Okay, you may think you're hallucinating, but from what? If you just had a normal day, then all of a sudden you see something out of the ordinary, oh, you think you're hallucinating, and you know good and well you ain't. I'm just saying, you know, your eyes tell the truth every time, because your eyes can see things that it's almost like you don't have any eye to brain coordination. Okay, you see it, but your brain doesn't believe it, which is, I think it's just kind of weird, because if my eyes see it, my brain is gonna believe it, what I see. You know, they always say seeing is believing. Okay, and sometimes believing is seeing. If you believe in something enough, you're gonna see it. I've always believed in UFOs. I've always believed in ghosts, and I have seen both. Okay, and I've seen a lot of other unknown crap that shouldn't make any sense, but I know I saw it. You know, I can't really explain it, but I know I saw it. You know, like shadow people, or you hear noises in the back of your house that don't make any sense. It sounds like a howling dog, but you can hear it as it's flying. It almost sounded like it was flying. I heard this in the back of my house once, where I heard this weird noise. It was like a loud howling noise. This was in the middle of the summer, and this was like last year, as a matter of fact. And I'm sitting on my sectional, and I could hear the flapping of wings. I could hear the sound of something howling, and I heard an owl all at the same time. And that's not what I heard. That the howling noise, that didn't come from no owl. That much I do know. You know, but the fact that I heard it, and I could hear it just as it was flying off in the distance. You know, it was above the ground. That's all I know. I mean, I could hear it as it went away in this direction. You know, and it's just weird. But it's a part of the unknown. If you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. Because if you hear it, you know, you hear it. If you see it, you see it. That's just the way it goes. There's no other way of getting around it. If you saw something, you saw something. Don't try to second guess yourself. Don't try to act like, I did not see that. I'm hallucinating. Da, 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 da. Okay, what? Hallucinating from what? It's not like you're taking any hallucinogenic drugs. And to me, there is no such thing as hallucinations. I said this before, and I'm saying it again. There is no such thing as hallucinations. There are drugs out there that can open up your mind and your eyes to see, to peer into these dimensions where you can see all this crazy stuff. You know, just like how people say, they said they saw somebody walking through the area, or they saw these weird things when they were taking these drugs. They said they were hallucinating. Okay, I saw the only hallucination I could think of that I know was a hallucination was the fact that it was when I was like probably between 12 and 15 years old. I was real sick, and I was taking some NyQuil, and I was still under the effects of it, either NyQuil or Dayquil. I was taking the green stuff that's just gross, tastes like poison. But I literally saw my remote control floating in front of my face near the bedpost of my bunk bed. Okay, and I was like, I went like that, and I was like, and it disappeared. But that's hallucinate. That's an hallucination. And I think what it is that these hallucinations come from memory. When you see stuff like, I mean, it was my remote control. I mean, I've seen my remote control before. I held it in my hand, so naturally, it's almost like a trigger, and it makes you see certain things that you already have seen in the past, and it just brings it forth. It's like bringing out a memory, and it projects it right in front of your face. But other stuff, like say you saw this creature, or you saw a ghost standing in front of you, and you automatically go like this. You like, okay, I know I didn't just see that. Yeah, yes you did. You saw it. You just don't want to believe that you saw it. You know, people fear what they don't understand. That's a big phrase out there. People fear what they don't understand. I don't fear it. It startles you because it comes out of nowhere, but I don't fear it. There were times where I could be sitting here on my computer and the lights are flickering, and that is a very strong indication of there being ghosts in your home when your lights start to flicker. You know, I've seen that in documentaries. I've seen that in these little ghost TV shows they have on Destination America, and they said that the lights was flickering on and off and everything. And I said it started happening in my house, but it was tiny little flickers. It wasn't like the part where it would go out and come back on. It would just flicker just a little bit, and the lights would kind of just like, like I said, the lights would flicker. And I was like, okay, that was weird, but it didn't bother me, and it still doesn't. You know, the ghosts that come through my home, I let them do what they do, make themselves known, and they keep moving to the next house. Maybe they'll actually scare somebody in that house, but they don't scare me because I've been living with that gift my entire life. I've been seeing ghosts since I was a kid, so there's really nothing they can do to scare me, really. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably is, but I haven't experienced that yet. But technically, there isn't too much they can do to scare me, because I've seen it, I've felt it. I've been used as a vessel. I've been touched by one. I've been enticed by one. You know, and my own grandfather literally touched me and was tickling me on my ribs. So, and that wasn't scary though. That was my grandfather. A lot of people always say they still get scared when they see their own family members come into their room and they know they're dead. But for some reason, I don't know why. I guess because you can see right through them. But I don't know why they would scream if you know that's your grandfather or your grandmother or even your mother. You know, they're just watching out for you. That's what they do. And even in death, they're still your parents, and they're there to watch over you. That's their job. But anyway, that's my time, folks. I'm going to read that last story about a young woman that disappeared, I believe, also in New Zealand. I got to read that some more just to find out and make sure that's where she disappeared at. But for all of my New Zealand viewers, I want to thank you for all of your kind views to my channel, and I will definitely have more. I'll try to get more disappearances. But if there are any New Zealand viewers that are watching my channel and you subscribe to my channel, all you have to do is email me a story of a person that disappeared in your town. Okay, if it's in the same town as those women in Auckland, you know, send me some more. Like I said, you'll find my email address in the description below. If not in this one, it'll be in some of my other videos. You just go through those and look at the description area, and you'll see my email address. But but to speed that along, my email address is MECK. That's M like Marco, E like elephant, C like captain, K like Karen, D like dog, E like elephant, E like elephant, at Comcast.net. Okay, that's MECD at Comcast.net. That's my email address. So all you have to do is email me some stories of people that have mysteriously vanished in an eerie way, like just vanished without a trace, or whatever the case may be, just like these women right here. So if you got any more stories, let me know. Just email me, or you can comment about it on my channel, you know, in the comment section below. And you know, but as usual, like and subscribe. Hit me with them thumbs up, people. You know what I'm saying? And tell your friends about me. That way I can get even more viewers and more subscribers, and I can further my knowledge of all these disappearances and all my theories that may be comparable to all of these disappearances. So you guys know what to do, and so do I. I will keep coming with more videos, and you guys just tell your friends and make sure they like and subscribe to my channel. That way I can get more viewers, and everybody, we can become one big family. We could probably try to figure this out, you know, in a group comment section, something, I don't know. But like I said, if you got any stories for me, New Zealand people, hit me up on my email address. Send me the video, send me an attachment of a story about a person that disappeared in your town, you know, or anybody else from any town, no matter what. I mean, if it's in Wisconsin or California, wherever, if you live near Devil's Bowl, let me know about something that happened in that area. You know, hit me up. You know what to do. All right, I gotta go, guys. Aloha, mahalo, and hui. Peace out. Have a great day. It's nice and sunny over here, so I hope it's sunny where you are. Peace.